Ah. Right with you. Oh, baby, yes. Let's stay together. Loving you and the. How y'all doing this evening? How y'all doing? My name is Truth Hurts. If you are not familiar with me, come over to my YouTube channel. I give some of the best advice tonight. We will be going live. We will have a super panel tonight. It is absolutely going to be a movie. Let me explain something. I want to make something crystal clear, right? If this is your first time ever being on one of my lives, man, you are in for an absolute treat. I'm telling you right now, this is a safe space for you to get advice. This is a safe space for you to vent, for you to learn, for you to laugh. All I ask is this. All I ask is for you to pull up to my YouTube channel. Nothing but the truth podcast. That is where we are live right now. And I need for y'all to hit the likes. We are here. For everybody that purchased their books, thank you so much. I will be putting the link in the chat. I need roll call. Where's everybody from? That's what I want to know. Where is everybody from? You say I helped you, come over to my YouTube channel, link in my story. I want y'all to come up and join my YouTube tonight. Shantae, what's going on, man? How was everybody feeling tonight? Talk to me. Where's everybody from? Did you get your tickets to my Kansas show? Did you get your tickets to my Chicago show? Did you get your tickets to my St. Louis and Nashville, Tennessee show? That's what I want to know. And when you get over to my YouTube channel, make sure you let me know. You ain't get your tickets to Kansas City. Cut it out. You know I'll be in Kansas this week. And this is what I want to say, right? When you come over to my YouTube channel, make sure you say, Truth Hurts. I just came from the YouTube because I follow instructions. Everybody that's on the YouTube, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know it's real. It's free. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know it's real. Send this to your friends. We are going to have some dope conversations tonight. And let me say this, right? If you want to pick the topic, I'm not opposed to that, but add a super sticker to it, and that's how you get your questions answered. That's how you're able to get your topics highlighted. That's the super sticker at the bottom of the screen. We get into it, we locking in, and this is what we're on this evening, and we got some dope topics. Are black women too expensive? Thank you, baby. Hit the likes. Turn me up. We're going to get to it tonight, man. You already know. Y'all got to get your tickets, man. You gotta get your ticket. Hey, did you get this book, True Accountability? And if you have not purchased the book, I will put the link in my chat. So I'm going to go get the link for y'all right now. I shared your post and I lost my friends. If you shared my post to somebody that you thought was a friend and they couldn't take it, honestly, sweetheart, you didn't need them around anyway. Honestly, sweetheart, you didn't need them around anyway. And if you need to book your one-on-one sessions, click the link, book your session. I am about to put the link on my YouTube channel, Nothing But the Truth Podcast. Everybody get over there. We getting ready to get to it this evening. You got to come over to the YouTube, Nothing But the Truth Podcast. Come over there. That's where all the links is. That's where everything that we're doing is located. I'm about to put the links in the chat. I'm about to have a super panel popping. I got some super duper dope people that are going to pull up tonight, and we talking tonight. We talking tonight. Yes, come on over to the YouTube channel. Ooh, my Lord. Hold up. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Tiff. Thank you, sis. And make sure you guys hit the likes. Did you get your book, sis? Did you get your book, sis? What's up, twin? You know I'm putting the link to the book up there. Stop playing. The link up there right now in his pen. The link is up there right now in his pen. She come right in showing love. Thank you so much. Depends. Natural women require less. What do you mean by that? What do you mean that natural women require less? What does that mean? What does that mean that natural women require less? What does that even mean? I'm lost. Explain that to me. What do you mean that natural women require less? I want you to like really back up that statement. What could you Ooh, First Lady, let's go. Let's go. I see you, First Lady. Let's go. I see you, Stacy. Like I said, hit the dollar signs at the bottom of the screen. Um, I want to know what topics you guys want us to talk about. What's up, Karan? How you feeling? I want to know what topics do you guys want to talk about. And like I said, make sure y'all go get the book. That is the link for the book right there. Everybody on Instagram, come over to the YouTube channel. We want to have a conversation tonight. Are black women becoming too expensive? Are they? Are they? I want to know. I want to know. How do we feel tonight? We want to talk about these masculine women tonight. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to talk about bitter baby mothers tonight. You better know it. But we're not just going to talk about bitter baby mothers. We are going to talk about bitter parents. And I actually did a podcast on that today. We are going to talk about bitter parents because it's deeper, right? It's deeper than just bitter baby moms, and it's deeper than that. It's not just the bitter baby moms out here. Bitter parents do exist. Explicit, what's up?
What's good?
Oh man, life is stupendous. Thank you so much for tapping in. I apologize for yesterday. I had a lot going on. And last minute I kind of had to like dip out. We got Dr. Lovely in the building. What's up? How are you?
Doing wonderfully well. How are you?
Oh my goodness. Listen, thank you so much for coming. I truly appreciate you. This is Miss
Absolutely.
Explicit. This is Detroit's own.
Hey,
Um,
Red Queens in the house.
Right.
anyway, so
You
I'm
mind if
glad
I
I
have a
got y'all here,
cigar?
right?
Truth, you mind if I have a cigar?
I see that. I'm mad that I don't have mine. But it's okay. I'll have one in Kansas this week. I got a really, really big show. I'm super duper excited. I think we are like 20 tickets away from being sold out.
That's
So if
good.
anybody, and that's a 1,700 seater. So
All right, go
yeah,
Truth. Way
chill,
to
man, chill,
grow.
chill, chill. Hey, yo, I try not to tip my hat, but you know what I'm saying? I try to keep it, I try
You
to
should
keep it
pat yourself on the back.
at
That's
Yes, you
dope.
absolutely should.
but when we got Melly Mel, the specialist in the building, man. Thank you so much, brother, for tapping in. I truly appreciate you. And I think tonight, not saying that every other night that we don't have an intellectual panel. I'm not saying that. So for anybody that's not here, and when you play this back and be like, Troop was trying to say, no, we always have intellectual panels. I think tonight, though, there will be a different level of maturity in this conversation tonight. We have some powerful speakers up here tonight. We are definitely going to cover some topics. You got to get the book. You can get my book in England because it is on Amazon. I literally just had somebody buy a book in Australia, UK, in Canada. So you can absolutely get my book in England. And before we get this live started, make sure you hit the likes, man. Turn this chat up. Make sure you go follow Explicit. Make sure you go follow Melly the Specialist. Make sure you go follow Dr. Lovely as well. And I want you guys to also say your Instagrams, let them know what it is that you do, where they can find you at, and all of that before we jump into this live.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
You hear me good? We good? First of all, good evening with you, man. Melly the Specialist. Y'all know what it is, man. Where you can find me somewhere anywhere down in Philly. Power 89, WDAS 105.3. Man, in the entertainment world, man. That's all it is, man. You can follow me not too far from where Truth Hurts at.
Say less. Next.
I am at Explicit Lyric, former rapper turned podcaster. I podcast. I do some content creation on Instagram and Facebook. My name on Facebook is Jay Morris. It's a little different than on Instagram. I talk about life and relationships in general.
Okay. Dr. Lovely, talk to him.
Yes, Dr. Lovely here in the house. My Instagram and my Facebook, my Snapchat, my TikTok is going to be Dr. Lovely, just how you see it. I'm a certified lovologist. I'm a published author. I am a cybersecurity expert. I have started my first podcast here, Cigars and Conversations, going to be at CI on April 9th. I'm all over the place right now, loving life. Find me in Dallas. That's where I am. And I was just in Kansas this week, so I'm gonna miss Truth up there, but I'm gonna catch up with him in the person, in the flesh, real soon.
All right, so look, before we get into this, I am highly offended because you got a podcast called Cigars and Conversation. I smoke cigars and got plenty of conversation, and I'm trying to figure out how is it that I have not been invited or not. Like, I didn't even say I charged nothing crazy or nothing. Why wasn't I invited?
Because Truth, I be trying to catch up with you. I want to catch you in person so we can sit down and talk. I don't want to do no fake invite.
Okay, say less. I respect that. You part of the reasons I actually moved to Texas. You kind of talked me into it, and then I just wound up picking H-Town instead of Dallas. But it is what it is. We are in the building, guys. We are going to talk about a lot of topics tonight, right? I actually did a podcast by myself earlier, talking about child support and stuff like that. And I know that that's always a very, very it's a triggering topic. It's a very, very triggering topic because we have a lot of bitter baby moms, a lot of bitter baby dads out there, right? But I just want to kick this off with, and I'm going to ask the women first, and then Melly, you can jump in, and then I'll clean it up. I don't mind being the maintenance man. I want to know, and I'll start with explicit, then we'll go to Dr. Lovely. I want to know, what is your definition of a deadbeat father?
Oh, my definition would be somebody who is just not a part of their not a part of their children's lives. Because I think the best thing you can give a kid is time. So some women equate that financially, but if a man is unable to do financially, but he's able to give all his time to his kids, I don't call that a deadbeat. So I think somebody who's just not in their kid's life, like at that point, you're a deadbeat.
Dr. Lovely, how do you feel about that? What is your definition of a deadbeat
I would have
father?
to second that. Someone who doesn't even look for their children. You know, you're not in their lives. You don't even look for them. You don't check for them. You don't peek in the door when it's cracked a little bit to see how they're doing. You don't care about their well-being. Yeah, financially is, they like, I'm sorry. Financial support is definitely something that's important. But if you're unavailable physically, emotionally, and mentally, that is the total package of deadbeat.
Melly, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I would say definitely a father that's not even making the attempt to be in a children's life. It's different, being financially, but we talking not there in the presence by any means, let's say necessary, because as a father that you will spend a lot of time working and things like that. It's a little different. But when you're not making any type of attempt, regardless of where it is, I'll put it that way.
Now, may I ask a question? What if the attempts are being made? And now we're going to go on reverse, and I'll let Melly go first. What if the attempts are being made as a father, right? But the attempts are met with headache, disrespect, turmoil. Do you believe that there's ever a reason for a father to have to fight to be in his child's life? Because I feel like, and before I let you go, I feel like there are a lot of mothers who offer nothing but headache, disrespect. They're playing child warfare with the fathers and still expect for the fathers to fight for the children. And then when he refuses to fight, right, now all of a sudden he's a deadbeat. What is your take on that?
I think that's an emotional statement when they say that you're a deadbeat on that. Honestly speaking, everything that you said, a father should not have to fight under no circumstances. If it's met with all that type of resistance, that's actually an issue that, I hate to say it like that, that's the mother. That's the issue that the mother has to work on, because there's absolutely no reason. I mean, I could see if there's some type of abuse maybe, or, something that along those type of a line. But if we just talking about in general that a lot of this pushback, we just gonna say, or resistance, is because of the simple fact that you have emotional issues with the father. That's not a deadbeat. That's not a deadbeat on a father. That's an issue with the mom. So yeah, that's not even close.
Miss Explicit, how do you feel about that?
I actually consider that deadbeat mama behavior because I have two children and I've never played that type of game with their father. They have just as much access to their kids as much as I do. If you want to come get the relationship that you foster with your children will be your own. I'm out of it. However much you want to see them or however less you want to see them, it is all up to you. I'm out of it. When women do that, I don't understand it. Because even if it's a child support issue where they financially not shipping in, that don't have nothing to do with the relationship he fosters with the kid. That's between the adults. I have never played the pawn game with my kids. That's not okay. I think that's
Okay.
deadbeat behavior. Trash.
Dr. I concur. Dr. Lovely, how do you feel about that?
I definitely agree. I think it's a mental instability on the mother's part, because she functions in her chaotic era. A woman who does that behaves that way. And I talk about that to a lot of women. Like, why are you functioning in chaos? You're passing chaos down to your children so they can function in that same dysfunction. If your the father is coming around and you just want to make his life miserable, it's unfortunate for the father and the children. But at that point, if the father really loves his child, he's going to weather that storm and fight to get that baby with him as best that he could. You shouldn't have to because you didn't fight to make the baby, but now he has to fight to be a part of the baby's lives because of the dysfunctional era that the mother is still sitting in. So yes, that is dysfunctional mama, deadbeat mama, somebody who just wants to play games and still in their childhood era where they don't know how to be mentally mature and stay in a place where they can function with duality with their father of their children because they always like that they like the fight. And I see that a lot with a lot of young mothers and some older ladies. They just want to fight for no reason just because they find that as a sense of power where because they have weaknesses that they have to deal with in their life personally.
Can I add to that too?
Well,
That
you already did.
I just want to add that I do believe that men have a breaking point too, because the system is not designed for them to go to court to fight for their kids. I know so many men who did try to fight for their kids and still got railroaded by the system. I do believe that there's a breaking point. I think it's a point where a man just feel like, look, when the kid get older, he gonna have to reach out
He
because
gonna
I'm
find
older.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is what I'll tell you. I encourage men to absolutely not indulge in fighting for your children. This is what I'll tell you. You go down to the court, you do best as you can with the court. But like Explicit said, if you're familiar with the history of the court system, it is never in favor of the man, and it damn sure is not in favor of the black man. To go a little bit further than that, right? One thing that I'll never be able to understand about these miserable women is how it's her baby, her body, her choice, but the financial responsibility is ours, right? And I'm going to repeat that because that always it baffles me, right? It's your body, it's your choice. And most mothers will say, my baby, right? Those are your three things, right? Those are the things that you want to own, but you don't want to own all of the financial responsibility. And so for me, when we speak of child support, I always talk about this and I make sure that I'm very clear on this, right? If you are taking me to child support in order to just make my life a living hell, right? Not because I'm not an active father, not because I don't do my best for the kid, but if you are taking me down to the court just to get your rocks off or to disturb my peace, so to speak, I tell these fathers, and I hope that you are listening, make sure that you do not have another dime to spare except for what the judge offers, because you could have got me to do everything and beyond without going down to this court system. And so now I want to go ahead and switch gears, right? Because we were talking about, the bitter baby moms and the way that they act. So now I would have to ask, right, for anybody who's a bonus mom or who's ever been a bonus parent, mom or father, right? I see that a lot of mothers, they seem to be infatuated with trying to control the narrative under their roof and under the roof of the baby father as well, right? Like they'll literally pocket watch and look at the treatment that the children are getting and that his girlfriend is getting or his new wife and things of that nature. How do you feel about the mom who feels as though, right, the father is contributing more to the children that are under his roof, rather the child that is in the other household?
I think that's trash behavior too.
As
It
far as
is.
on whose behalf?
On the woman's
On the
behalf, who's trying to control what's going on in the baby daddy's household. I've never done that either. What my children's father's got going on, I don't have nothing to do with that. He could be over there living a life in an upper lap of luxury. I wouldn't have anything to do with that. I don't want more money. I'm not looking for more money because you got a lifestyle, you living over there. Can I take care of my kid? That's all I care about. Is the kid that's in this household. What you're doing for everybody else, I could not care less. So when
As
when
long
women do that, that is absolutely positively trash behavior.
It's a power struggle. It's a power
It is.
struggle on her behalf, and she's doing that because there's another woman. That's her insecurity showing. And the only time I would get involved is if my children are being hurt.
Absolutely.
If they're fine and everything is good with them, hey, she treating you like I would want my children's father to be with a woman that would take care of my children as well as I would. And if
Absolutely.
she's doing that for them, then I'm good. I don't have that's not my story. I never took any of my kids, father, my ex-husband, to court for child support. Divorced 10 years, married for 20. Once it was over between us, I'm gonna let you go your way. I don't even have time to take you to child support because they're gonna be good without you. What's $10 gonna do for me? What's $10 gonna do for them? And whatever they
Absolutely.
got going on in their life is none of my business, like she said. As long as my children ain't coming home with no bruises and telling me that this lady cursing at them and talking to them any kind of way, that's when they hear that's when the mama bear come out.
Okay. Melly Mel.
Same thing, man. There's definitely a big case of immaturity. I think, and I think that speaks for itself. You definitely see that a lot, and it also baffles me because it's how can you put this respectfully? When you sit up there and you try to make it look like that is not that is what gets me the most. And the reason why I say is not that because you would never get them to say that, hey, I'm doing this for that particular reason, or this is how it really is.
Oh, they're never gonna admit.
I was trying to stay away from that. I was trying to stay away from the word because it's in there, but that's. I'm sorry, say it again, explicit.
I said they're never gonna admit to the insecurities being the reason why they doing it. Like never that.
See that
Maybe on their deathbed.
Right.
That's the craziness. Because if you're willing to go that far, rather than taking some, go ahead, True, one more time. Hold the book up. If you're willing to go that far, and to avoid that true accountability, then what you think where you think the cycle going to go?
Yeah.
So let me jump in here for a second because we understand that we talk about the insecurities and the women trying to control the narrative from under another roof, right? And so there's two ways that we can go with this, right? We can get into the importance of having boundaries in place with your co-parent, right? We could go that direction, and I think we might, but then we can also go in the direction of, and we'll start with the ladies. Do you feel as if it is mandatory for the co-parent to meet your new partner? Yes or no, and why?
I think it depends on the relationship that I have with the co-parent. Because if we're not in a good space, then no, because it's just gonna bring more drama, right? But if we in a good space, like me and my children's fathers, because I have two, we in a good space. So be quiet. So if I bring somebody around, if I'm getting ready to, introduce somebody to my kids, I know that I can introduce them to him without there being any drama. Like there's not gonna be, nobody's gonna be mad. It's not gonna be no insecurities floating around. Ain't nobody gonna try to beat nobody's behind or nothing. So I think because we're in a better space, then yes, I think it's necessary for me to do so. And I think they should do the same. But is it absolutely a positive? Like, especially if we in a bad space? Absolutely not, because it's just gonna bring more drama. Especially if you got a girl who insecure, she not gonna want to meet. She not gonna want nobody around her kid.
Especially if you cuter than her.
Huh?
Especially if you're cuter than her.
Absolutely. Especially if you look better. It's a problem. My daughter's dad is remarried or married. We were never married, but he's married. Like I met her before she was around my daughter. There it is. Yeah, it was.
So before Dr. Lovely and Mel gives their answer, I want for you guys to hit the likes, man. Turn the chat up. Also, get the super stickers. That way we can see your questions. We'll actually involve them into the conversation. So, Dr. Lovely, I'm going to repeat the question to you. is it mandatory for the co-parent to meet your new partner? Because some parents feel as if this is like their parental duty and like obligation to, like, I have every right to meet the person that you're dealing with. How do you feel about that and why?
No, you do not have the right to meet everyone I'm dealing with. If I'm getting married and this is going to be my husband and my forever partner, I think at that point we have to try to figure this out. But if if he's toxic, no matter who I'm with, he's going to try to make my husband's life miserable. He's going to try to get in the way of my marriage. He's going to try to pit the kids against me or him and say all of these. If he's sitting in his bitter bullshit, excuse my language. But if I'm just dating and I'm just, actively dating or casually dating, and there's no seriousness, he doesn't need to, or she doesn't, they don't need to meet that person because there's the potential they're not even going to be in your life for a long time. So if somebody who has longevity, I think absolutely it's worth a try.
Melly Mel, talk to me nice.
I think it is mandatory no matter what the cases is. I mean, just for the simple fact that we're talking about, if you're gonna be around my kid's life, that's another face, that's another perspective, that's another entity in general. I mean, if anything, I don't care if you're toxic or not. I need to know, not to be in your business, but I need to know for safety purposes. You can't say, okay, if something was to happen oh, you asked me to stop.
No, I was going to raise my hand, but I'll wait.
Please go ahead. Please.
Definitely. I feel as though, like I said, at least at worst case scenario for safety purposes in general, because if something was to happen and you would say, oh, my kid, my man or whatever the case is, something happened, you're supposed to say, oh, just my boyfriend. Okay, well, who is this person? Because in the general, as a father, our big thing is definitely protection. We coming for whoever it is, and to be honest, male or female. I need a face to put with that.
See, now, but you sound logical.
Let him go. No, let that man land his plane. We having a great panel tonight. Is your plane landed, my good brother?
Yeah, we can go ahead and rock with that.
So let me finish, because it was my turn. I waited patiently. So you said that, right, Mr. Melly Mel, that you think that it is mandatory for you to meet the parent, right? Absolutely. And then you doubled down, right? You doubled down on that and said that for protection reasons, right? Like for safety reasons, to ensure that I guess the kids aren't being touched, or if something weird goes on, that, like, because this is my thing. I always hear people say these unrealistic things. I'm not saying that that's unrealistic, right? But usually people are like, well, I just need to put my eye on it. Well, this is what I'll tell you. This is my stance. I don't think that it is mandatory. I think that a lot of parents like to say it's for protection and safety, but the harsh reality is a lot of these parents want to see your partner so they can size them up and see how they measure up to this partner, right? I'm going to be brutally honest, not only, right, depending on, like how the lady said, depending on the circumstances of the relationship, not only is it not mandatory for you to meet my partner, but it's also not mandatory for you to know where I live at neither. And this is why I'm about to say what I'm about to say, and a lot of people are going to get triggered by this, right? Creating a life with somebody is probably one of the biggest decisions that you can make in life, right? It's bigger than a mortgage on a house. It's bigger than leasing a car, right? Like creating a whole life, right? With somebody, right? To procreate, you would think that these are one of the most well thought out decisions. And we know how it gets sometimes, right? We lay down with some people reckless, babies come out, this, that, and the third, but realistically, a baby that's planned, if you're planning a child with somebody, you obviously thought that partner was suitable. So this would be my only discrepancy, Mr. Mel, right? She was grown enough to lay down. She was grown enough to lay down with you raw. She was grown enough to carry your baby for 9 months. She was grown enough to conceive your baby. These are all good judges of character. She was good enough for that. But you don't think that she's good enough to pick a partner, right? She's not good enough to pick a partner that's going to love your children the way that you do, if not more. I know that's a stretch, right? Nobody feels like somebody can love their kids more than them. But if you don't think that she's wise enough to pick somebody that is going to want to love them and defend them and protect them, then wouldn't this would have something to do with the type of woman that you impregnated?
Yeah, no.
Speak on it.
Going back on like some of the things that you just said. You said she was grown enough to have the kid, conceive the kid, et cetera, et cetera. First and foremost, in all honesty, what other way is there? She don't have no choice, regardless if she's grown or not. I don't think the grown anything have to do anything to do with that. That's just how God planned it. female have to go through that. There's no other way for a child to come into this world. Now, as far as if she's grown enough or mature enough to pick the right person, I think that kind of sort of is subjective because of the simple fact we see what it is now. We see how it is now. Somebody can just pick she can just pick the most whatever type of we just gonna say gentleman. We ain't gonna be disrespectful.
But she picked you.
Because her vision, her perspective may feel as though, like you said, this dude is so great. But as we talk in reality, as we see nowadays, respectfully, ladies, don't get mad, but this is just what it is. They would say a man is good just because he looked like he got a couple dollars.
So I got a question, Mr. Mel. Do you plan on going on like a coffee date with this man? Like, what does that interaction look like?
No, I'll tell you. I mean, that's something that definitely would have to happen. Let's just say at a time where it probably just have to happen. I don't even think that's something that could really be planned unless you really actually do try to plan it like that. Because you're always going to be curious. No, I mean, no matter which way you put it, you're gonna want to know who is this figure.
But I need so one thing about me, I need to really have an understanding on like, because you want to meet him. You think that it is mandatory that you meet this man. These are your words. What would that, because you're a father, what would that interaction look like? Like, tell me, how would you go about making this connection? Because you are hell-bent on meeting this man. The man doesn't want to meet you. Your baby mother doesn't want you to meet him, but you're hell-bent on this. How would a man that's watching this right now, I want you to direct maybe a younger man, right, that feels like I'm going to meet him. How does this interaction take place?
I think the best way for it to take place is, regardless if you can't stand a woman or not, try to put all your feelings and emotions aside, which is going to definitely take some work. And then have that conversation with your ex or whoever that woman, baby mother, ex-wife, whatever it is, and see if that can actually be set up. Because obviously you don't know who he is, so it ain't like you could just go to him. So you're going to have to try to take an initial plan directly through your ex or baby mom to see if that can get set up. Now, and again, if it doesn't get set up, I mean, of course, that's nothing that you can do, but you have to be grown and you have to be mature. Take all those emotions out. I don't give a damn if she cheated on you, she fucked you up, she screwed you over, whatever the case is. You have to come with a level of maturity or maturity for some people that need to break down and be able to see what's going on. Because again, we talk about this is your kid and your kid's life at stake.
Let me ask you this, and I'm sorry, ladies. I'm going to get this last question out the way.
Go for it.
And if you guys have any questions for him, as well. So let's just say, hypothetically, right? Because this is what I've noticed about a lot of dads, right? Not even dads. I don't even think they call sperm donors, so to speak, right? A lot of these sperm donors only want to be active or act as if they care when they know that another man has entered the conversation, right? So I'm talking about the daddies, right? And I'm doing air quotations. I'm talking about the daddies that don't love their kids until they realize that another daddy is in the picture. So I'm talking about the daddies that call and make terroristic threats. That man bet not be playing catch with Junior, and you bet not be letting him take him to get haircuts, and he bet not be buying him the Jordans that I was going to get him from 3 years ago, because how dare a man step in and take my place? So what would be your advice to the men who don't want to interact until they realize that a threat is in the picture or their replacement is in the picture?
Grow the fuck up.
That part.
Grow the hell up, because the fact of the matter is, yeah, at that time or during this time, you was not being that father that you should have been. Now you see this guy, and of course you feel, again, it triggered you. It did something. It made you snap. Whatever the case is, it definitely brought out what was there this whole time now out into, let's say, real life. The only advice that I can say is you need to grow up and start figuring out how you need to get your ish together. Sometimes it take that actual step or something that set that person off. Just like they say, if you go to jail, you come back, there's a good chance you don't want to go there again. So something, I think it's the same type of mentality for that to happen.
Before I let these beautiful women go, my last and final question, because I know they got some.
Go for it.
What would disqualify a parent's rights to meet the new partner?
I'm sorry, say that again. What would disqualify what?
What, like, as a parent, right? If
Mhm.
I'm the father or the mother, either or, right? As a parent, what do you think the other parent could do that would disqualify them from having this so-called mandatory meetup privilege? Because it's a privilege. Like, what would disqualify them where there is no reasoning? I don't care if you want to meet them or not. You're not worthy of meeting my partner. Like what would be a disqualifying
The-
factor?
One of the things I would think definitely would be some type of abuse. That that will probably be you got me with that. That's probably the one that came up to me to the top was probably abuse. Yeah, I might got to circle back with that one. That was a good one right there. I like how you put
Ladies,
that
have
twist
at 'em.
there.
I landed my plane.
Okay, so you spoke from the male perspective, but like when you asked him what can he say to a man, what do you say to a woman? Because what do you do when you're dealing with a difficult woman who is telling you that you can't, because you are hell-bent on meeting this new guy? But what if she like, absolutely the fuck not? Like, what do?
You can't do nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
The only thing you can do
Like,
is
you're
potentially
speaking
take
from a very logical standpoint. So that's why when I say it depends on the situation, like, yeah, you're a logical person. You're a logical father. You're a person who feel like this is for protection, right? But you got people who feel like True said, the minute somebody else step in, it is hell to pay. And how do you deal with that? People start withholding their kids. Now you can't see your kid because there's somebody else in the picture, and they got she jealous or she upset because now you to introduce some new girl into the equation, and now it's a problem. I don't think it's as cut and dry as, oh, we need to and it's mandatory because I'm the daddy or I'm the mama. Like, I don't think it's that simple.
I think that brute force never works. Regardless of the type of person that you're dealing with on either side, male or female, he crazy, he always ready to shoot up, she crazy, she always want to cut and fight and all of this other stuff. I'm a strong believer in patience is virtue. If you keep trying to, if I heard you say, brother, that I need to know who's in my child life. If not, I'm you gonna make your way in to see this person. It's if you fight, if you come with some level of resistance or some level of force, you're gonna always be met with the resistance. I think that if as time goes on, if you're with someone and you know it's a self-awareness on your part, both parties. If the father wants to be there and if he sets boundaries like, look, babe, or look, baby mama, I know that you got a new man in your life, but my son's haircuts are my bonding time. Let me have that time. The daughter, if you got a daughter, the baby mother, me doing her hair is our bonding time. Don't take that away from me. I think it starts with those little things, even though there's so many scenarios that we can go through, but I've seen so many people just for spite. Well, I got a new man now. He gonna take my son to get his hair cut because we like breaking boundaries. We don't respect people's boundaries regardless. I think that once women start taking away the father's role in the child's life for spite, and then the father feels like he's got to attack with brute force, I think there's always ways around that. Patience will definitely get you a lot farther than fighting brick for brick, sword for sword, gun for gun. But it takes a mature person to think of the child first. And we're not thinking about the child first. We're thinking about the id, the I, the me, the my. All them Sigmund Freudian terms, that's what we're thinking about. What about my feelings? What about what I got to do? What about the child? The child is watching all of this happen. And we're not thinking about the child's needs at that time. So going in head first and into an empty pool, you're just going to break your neck. And that's just how I look at things from super observant lens from the far. And I give people that advice. Like, ask yourself just 3 questions. What do you want? How do you get it, and how do you apply it? And then how do you make it resilient? How do you continue to have that same positive flow of energy going through? And it's going to take somebody, some heavy therapy or some heavy self-realization to make sure that you put yourself in a position to protect your child. Because if they see they father and they stepdaddy fighting, the child is torn. Who do I stand with at that point? You know, mommy's on his side. Do I go on that side? And then daddy feels like the child's turning against him, because we're not thinking logically about the child. We're thinking about how far our revenge knife can go.
Okay.
I got a couple things to say about that, but
Talk to me.
Please. She talks back. Go ahead, sir.
Respectfully, Dr. Lavelle, I mean, you said some very key points there, and explicitly, I got one touch on the one you said too. But Dr. Lavelle first, when you're saying okay, all of these things like that, and how it, you know, for the most part, it should be. That's actually where a big part of the problem. In truth, I'm not trying to spin your direction, but I just
do you?
That's part of the problem where we at now, because in all honesty, that key part of self accountability is what's lacking. Because think about it, when you let's say in this case the bitter female, we talk about people that don't want to take accountability. How they not even going to attempt or even acknowledge that they're doing these heinous things to prevent the father from doing this. So when you're saying, okay, we got to take this step, how can he take this step when you purposely doing that? But you ain't even acknowledging that you purposely doing it. You're showing it. It's almost like saying, oh yeah, how dare you label me a liar? Or how dare you label me this terrible female? I'm not that. But your actions are speaking louder.
Right. You know, a fool will stop dancing if nobody watching him, right?
Nowadays, I don't know.
They'll stop dancing if the cameras aren't showing.
If we talking percentages, maybe, but we also talking about what's going on now.
It's a proven fact. If you stop arguing with the very person who wants to argue with you, they eventually stop. It's a proven fact. If there's nobody entertaining that energy, giving them back that constant flow of negative energy, there's nothing for them to feed off of.
That part is true.
Yeah, I agree.
That part is definitely true.
I like it. We cooking with grease. Let me get to this super chat because the brother had a great question. And one thing about it, I just want to say thank you, brother, for the super chat. We really, really appreciate you. I'm trying to actually pinpoint it right now, man. And we get into some dope conversations. Like I said, for everybody that wants to tap in, man, make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all hit the super stickers at the bottom so we can see your question. I'm trying to actually pull this up. Give me 1 second, y'all. Maybe it went too far. It might be, fuck it. It went too far, but the one brother had asked, this question was dope too. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm lying. I think I can pull it up. Okay. I can't pull it up, and I'm disgusted by that. But anyway, the brother basically, here it is right here. Say less. Warren grabbed the $10 super sticker. Thank you, Warren. We appreciate you. And you have a super duper duper dope question. And Warren's question is it worth it to be a stepdad? And only men can answer this. So unfortunately, the ladies are disqualified from this question. But it starts with you, Mel. Is it worth it being a stepfather?
Oh man, they ain't gonna like me for this one. They ain't gonna like me for this one. Yeah and no. I gotta play both sides. Yeah and no. Nowadays, to a good majority of what's being shown, no, I'm gonna say no. So if you want me to give a direct answer, nowadays it's starting to seem like no, it's not worth it to be a stepfather, because of the simple fact that the only time the stepfather seems to be, keyword seem, and we're not saying all, but it seems like the only time that he's actually being worth it is when he's, for the most part, beneficial. And most of the time it's, you know, in a way of finances to this era of women. They're not showing let's say the value in that man until his key sources is gone. And most of the time, the key sources for the men is finances. It doesn't matter how much money a female is breaking, but it seemed like nowadays to this era of women, it's not worth it. There's very few good ones, and salute to y'all, but it's way too many bad ones. So.
Okay.
Can I chime in on that truth? I know I'm a woman.
No, all men. This is a man's question.
Uh,
Um, for every, you can't be a stepdad no matter how hard you may want to be one. It's just you don't have the right equipment. With that being said, right, I want everybody that is on Instagram to come over to my YouTube channel. It is Nothing But the Truth Podcast. Hit the likes, man. Turn it up. Put the questions in the chat. We want to build with y'all. We want to laugh with y'all. But the question at hand is it worth being a stepfather? And this is what I'll tell you. We have a couple of determining factors, right? One of the things that we're going to have to factor in is the age of the children, right? I think that this is something that a lot of people kind of look over, right? I feel like if you catch them young enough, which is a little awkward, but if you catch them young enough, it's to the point where you can step in and kind of not miss a beat. I feel like if you catch them middle age, like that 12, 15, like that, those reckoning years where they're trying to find their identity and they're finding out, like they don't think their shit stinks. I feel like, that could be a little rougher. And realistically, if you come in as a stepfather with adult children, then you're not really step popping at all. So it's a clean slate. Let me say this. So first we're going to start with age, right? And then we have to hyper focus on, right? We have to hyper focus on the parenting, right? We have to hyper focus on the kids as well, right? We have to hyper focus on what type of children are these, right? Because this is the harsh reality. A lot of women don't know that they will die single because they are picking their children and their disrespectful children over their relationship. So what you'll notice about a lot of black women, and I'm sorry, I hate to throw y'all under the bus, but those are the only type of women that I've ever dated. One thing about a black woman, you are not given a safe space to approach or address her children about anything, no matter if it's right, wrong, or indifferent. These black women feel like I am going to step in and handle my child in the only way that my child needs to be handled with my handling, right? No grown man or a real man, and I hate the term real, but no man with any balls, right? No man that is a real leader, a real protector, a real provider is ever going to let a child have a safe space to go against his structure. So a lot of women wonder, like, what is it that a man brings into a home? It's structure. And if you have a man come into your home or you come into a man's home with your child and you deny him of laying the foundation of his structure, then you are doing him a major disservice. So I always tell women, right? You cannot, and I know I got a little bit off topic, but we're gonna cook for a second. You cannot let a man have what I deemed as selective masculinity. And that's what a lot of women try to force upon these men in today's society, right? You want me to be man enough to fuck you. You want me to be man enough to pay all of your bills. You want me to be man enough to protect the home. You want me to be man enough to do blah, blah, blah. But I am not man enough to correct your child. So I would say that it would also, we got to get into the parenting of the child. If your child is disrespectful, fellas, stay far the fuck away from her. If she has an unruly child, fellas, stay far the fuck away from her. If she does not know how to set the boundaries, right? Because I don't know when y'all were born. I'm an 80s baby, right? And you had two places in a household, right? You had an adult's place and you had a child's place, right? And if that child does not know that child's place, bro, you are doomed because you cannot come in and rewrite the bullshit programming that she's already programmed in that child. To wrap this up, is it worth it being a stepdad, right? I had a stepfather, an amazing stepfather, right? The closest thing to a real dad was better than my dad by a landslide, right? Taught me how to fight. I remember tender moments of me sitting on his lap, he letting me hold the steering wheel, pretending that I'm driving, even down to showers and making me wash up and acting like the police and put your hands up. Like those are things that I actually passed on to my son, and showering them and interacting with them and loving on them, right? And so I am never going to try to treat a man as if he's less of a man for wanting to step in, right? Because you'll get a lot of men that'll be very judgmental. Oh, you're a sucker and you're a simp. I am extremely grateful for my stepdad and the fact that he was willing to take in two children that were not his. What I will say, and I'm big on transparency, my mom was a piece of work, so I have to even commend him even more. But Is it worth it? I think that you know your partner. I think that you know your situation. And I think that you know your heart. And I think that you know what your limits are. And if it's worth it to you, then we'll let you go ahead and play ball. And yeah, that was that. And I think that I landed the plane with that. For sure, for sure. Did y'all
And the
have any
ladies, we
questions?
don't get to say anything on that
No, because you don't have
two
a
brown
penis.
women.
You don't have a
It doesn't.
penis, unfortunately. Well,
Well, I
the
mean,
question was,
it
Dr.
it
Lovely,
doesn't it doesn't.
Steph.
I would have to disagree. You know, just because I don't have a penis, that doesn't mean I don't have an opinion.
So my question would be, right, to you, because the question was, so that's like, right, I'm gonna give you an example, and I'll let you give an opinion because I see that you're hard up on this. I'll let you go at it, right? But that's like somebody putting in the chat, how does it feel to suck a penis? I've never sucked a penis. I don't even have the parts to suck a penis. I don't.
That's
I don't
that.
have the equipment. Hold
That's
on.
apples and oranges.
Hold on, no, because this is the thing. Or how does it feel to be penetrated inside of your vagina? If that was the question, I would have to back off of that. Why? Because you know what I do not have? I absolutely do not have a vagina. So there's no way that I could tell you how it feels for me to be entered through my vagina because I don't have it. The question was, is it worth it being a stepfather? So it
Well,
was a
I mean,
question to, oh,
can
go ahead.
that
I'm
be?
so sorry.
Can you? I'm sorry, my love. You know, you're my friend for life. There's a juxtaposition right there. You know, he didn't address the question. Now he address the question. This is for men only. Is it worth it? But what about the woman? The perspective that we could come as mature women that we can say, is it worth it? You have to make that decision on your own. I know I've watched your podcast for a very long time, and I've watched a lot of your stuff for a long time. And it's you an '80s person. I'm a '70s person. We grew up in a different era. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We know what it's like to be in either the adults or a child's place, speak when you're spoken to, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm gonna go a lot further than that. We have to, if anybody's ever read the Willie Lynch letter, read it. That is the beginning of the breaking of the black home, to where the black woman disrespected the black man to get them broken enough to do whatever the master wanted. I'm not going to go any deeper than that. But if the woman is not allowing you the space to be comfortable as a man, to be vulnerable as a man in the house. If there's and it's not just brown women that don't let the man discipline the child, but you have to think about it on our terms, on our side as well. Some, as a woman with a 6-year-old in my house, I'm if a man is trying to discipline her, I'ma listen. And I'm gonna let him do him. Like I spoke to one of my children just the other day, and it was it's his biological son, where she felt she had to step in and take over. Like, give him his space to be a man. It depends on the type of woman that you're dealing with, and I
I don't
see
want you
it.
to get away from the topic, Dr. Lovely. And so the question was, is
Is it
it worth
worth
it
it?
being a stepdad? So can we I want to focus on
It
that.
depends on him.
Speak about it though, because you wanted to jump in. So now I want you to elaborate.
It's
Break
I'm
it.
gonna elaborate. It's based off of his decision if it's worth it. It depends on, you have to observe. You have to see this woman in her highs and her lows, and her inside her house with her children, and how it flows. If you immediately, the first thing you say, and she's giving you the neck, then it's not worth it. But if you have somebody that's willing to, that's for instance, I'm gonna put myself in there. I have a 6-year-old who does not have a father in her life at all. I would love for somebody to come into her life as somebody that I could trust, to give her that father nature, because she's 6 years old. She sees it in all her friends and all her classmates that they have daddies picking them up, and she doesn't have one. There's not a lot of people like me that are willing to say, okay, I know what my daughter needs. She needs a father. She needs a male figure in her life. But is it worth it for somebody to come into my life? Because I have that foundation and that structure, that if a man comes into the home, he has his places in the home, and the woman's places in the home, his places to be the father, the disciplinary, the provider. We meet, we 50, however they want to do it in their relationship. He has to decide how much he wants to be a part of that woman's life, because that child is a package. But if she's automatically shutting you down from
Ooh,
the first
Lord.
instance, then you have to make that
May I
decision.
ask you, because you just said that the kid is a package, and that has always been one of those
It's if
things
they're
to be.
young.
Hold on,
Yeah.
let me finish. I know how to express myself, just poquito. So you said
Piquito.
that the children are a package deal, and I feel like a lot of women unsuccessfully date because they go into it believing that their children are a package deal, right? And I feel like, right, and let me just be crystal clear: the children are absolutely not a package deal. So one thing that I always try to teach women, right? If a man is really into you, is he absolutely going to involve your children? Absolutely. As men, to a certain extent, we like what you like. We love what you love. We learn to love the things that you love because we love to make you happy. This is just the mindset of a man. But I feel like a lot of women, right? They will literally force feed this Brady Bunch family type of idea, right? And what you have to understand, and it's going to trigger a lot of people. Some women have very unlikable children. Some women have very bratty, like I said, disrespectful children. And so let's go a little bit deeper. Some women have B words for daughters, and some women have little N words for sons, or little dickheads, right? Even, right? And so I always tell women, please stop thinking that it is a man's job to come in and like your children. It's not. You have to get past gate one, and gate one is me liking you. Gate one is me loving you and giving you everything that you desire and that you need. Now, if we can get to the next step, right, then we organically build the bond, right? I always tell you have to organically build this bond. But what we notice is what we get is you'll have these women that I've been around the kids for 3 weeks, and you got them playing, coming in, calling my last name. Oh, you're Little Hurts. Ain't that your daddy? These women will. Am I lying? Am I lying?
You're not.
Come on, player.
So we gotta be mindful about that package deal thing, because this is the thing. Me and you could run off and have a perfect relationship, marriage, and all of that. And your kids just may not be a part of that package. And there's gonna be a lot of people. I can hear the women now, wigs flying off, lashes in an uproar. Unfortunately, right? We talked about the parenting because this is a teaching moment. If you have lovable children, I doubt that any man is coming in with just a distaste for your children. But you have to be realistic about what type of children you've raised. And also, and I'll leave you with this, there are some men that come in that don't want to share you as well, because that's a situation that I seen growing up. My other stepdad, because my mom kept a husband, my other stepfather, he didn't want to share my mother. He wanted my mother all to himself. And he tried to like put that line of division in there, but we were too aggressive, and we were too aggressive for his attempts. I'll just leave that where that's at, but God bless him and everything he endured. And so, yeah, so with that being said, let's get into, we have a super sticker, right? And it's from B100 BDL. I don't even...
B done it, BDL. I think that's B done it.
But what does BDL? But anyway, you know what?
Hey.
I'm sorry, yo. You know what?
Hey.
I'm an elevated thinker, and my mind.
It's not baby daddy on a DL, right?
It was just a lot. It was a lot. I wasn't thinking baby dad on the DL. It don't even matter.
Okay.
Hit the likes, turn the chat up. We are in the building. We are answering questions. But this is from B Done It. And let me tell you something about B Done It. I'm gonna tell you what's so special about him. He is one of the few men that refuses to date a woman that gives him head. He does not want fellatio from a woman. He is not open. Yes, he's not open to it. He thinks that it's repulsive. He's just one of those really straight men. He's one of those really straight men. He's like so fucking straight. Anyway, B Done It said, any man wanting to step in the role of a stepfather is labeled a sucker. However, he is a man's man. Why? Due to the fact integrity and character is leaning towards accountability. Okay, I ain't mad at that. That's a statement. We have Mike David, and thank you for the super sticker, bro. We appreciate you. A stepdad is a idiot. God, I said what I said. All right, my good brother.
Tell God.
Tell God. You got to put that right. He said, tell
God.
God.
Tell God I said what I said.
Tell him I said it.
He's very affirmative.
You know what? I'm a stepdad, so maybe that's why I can't read. I'm an idiot. Anyway, so now that we got that out the way, what's the next topic? I'm gonna let y'all pick some. Y'all all got podcasts, y'all podcasters.
What you seen that done triggered you?
Huh?
What you done seen that done triggered you this week?
Please don't see now you trying to rev me up. And please, you know what? See, fuck it. I don't like doing this.
Because I know it's always something.
Man, this internet is a crazy freaking place, man. And you know, all right. So I ain't
never heard this man stutter before.
I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on
Let me start this over.
women. Also, like, I will stand on this, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on this. Black
Put the
women
mic
have
towards
been
Truth.
traumatized by black men.
I can
Period,
hear
point
it.
blank. Period, point blank. And that has a lot to do with the hurt and the way that black women are acting these days. And black men think they don't have anything to do with that, and that is a lie. At the end of the day, a lot of black men have traumatized these women and have made them scorned, bitter, and now we're in a competition with who doesn't care.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you why this triggered me, right? I'm gonna speed this up, and I won't even be long-winded about this. So a couple of things, right? One thing that I do not like is unblack people speaking about black topics. That will always bother me, right? So I know her personally. She was actually on my podcast in New York City. I let her come to one of my live shows. One of the most unblack things you can do is argue your blackness, right? Like that is probably one of the unblack. Like whenever you hear somebody like, yeah, I'm black because I'm black, because like when you hear somebody like one thing about if somebody said, Truth, you're not black, I would find it to be hysterical. Like, wow, I would never argue my blackness, right? So when you hear somebody that's like overly on black topics and black power, I don't think that anybody that just looked at that lady thought that she was black. Let's do this again. Let's just do this again. Let's do this again. And not saying that black does not come in all shades and
who doesn't give a fuck less? Oh, we want to pretend we all don't care. We're in a war of who cares less, who can do more.
Do you look at her and think black woman?
The competition we're in.
I want to know, ladies, do you look at her and think black woman?
I thought she
Maybe
was
her
black.
daddy black or her mommy black, and she's
Yeah.
got that percentage of blackness in her that
That's
she's
not, no, excuse me. That's not what I asked.
no,
Do you look at that woman and think black woman?
no.
I thought she was black.
Explicit. I knew you, we already know. Anyway,
I thought she
okay,
was
so
black.
Mel, did you look at that woman and think that that woman was of black descent?
Yeah.
She's got some
Okay.
percentage in her, but
Cool beans.
What is she?
Cool beans. Black. So anyway, she's black because we're all black.
so she's not
We're-
talking. She's not non-black talking
We're
about
all
black issues.
We are all black. But God bless her. God bless their podcast. I wish her the best.
So I have something for you, Truth.
Yes.
It's on the male-female narrative. Women, and I'm not gonna just say black women. Women, we want a soft space to land when it comes to our men, right? A lot of women want that soft space. And this is gonna be my topic that I'm talking about. But what do we do as the women to help the men to create that soft space? Are we giving them a soft space to land as well, so that way we can land on that soft space with them? We a lot of us, and I'm going to say sisters, we have this issue where he's the provider, he's XYZ, he's allowing you to be kept, he's taking care of business, he's paying all the bills, but the second he walk in the house, you grunty, you mad. Something you're gonna find that one thing that you know that you missing in your life. Out of all of this 80, you're gonna find that 20% that you're missing, and give him this attitude. You don't even greet him with a smile in his house. What is it that we need to do as women to help create our own soft space to land when it comes to our men? Because we don't do that. We look for it to already be there. You better come with the cushion because I'm fitting to lay on it. So this is a topic that I want to talk about, and I think it's going to raise some red flags, some hairs on some ladies, because we don't never think about the mental health of the men or their well-being or whatever it is that we got to do to create that space for them. So what are your thoughts on that?
Behind every mouthy, opinionated woman is either a single woman, right, or a miserable man, right? A manly man is not dealing with what you just talked about. A manly man, right, like a man that doesn't that really knows his worth as a man, understands that it is a rarity for a man to come in and be able to provide all of the bills, for a man to come in and be able to protect, like he knows where his qualities put him on the pecking order of men, right?
Right.
And this is what you have to understand about a man, right? A man does not have to have a big penis. A man does not have to be muscular. A man does not even have to be attractive in order to be considered a high value man. What makes a man a high value man, right, is the fact that he can protect and provide. Those two things are the only things that he needs to have to make him a catch as a man. And so there are women, right? Every single day, what do they scream? I want a man to protect and provide. They don't say he has to be a certain height. They don't say that he has to be a certain weight. They don't say that his thing has to be a certain length. They don't say that he has to have a certain build. But the requirements for a man to be a man is protection and provision. And a man that can protect and provide will be a catch for any woman from 25 to 75. So
Right.
men that really know their value, right, that know that they're an asset, they are not tolerating that nonsense.
Right.
They aren't. I hate the fact, right, that our brown and black women, right, are the majority of the women who feel like submission is earned. The majority of our women feel like you have to be able to handle them. A majority of our women feel like, I don't care what he's doing as a man, he's going to get this mouth. I don't care if he's damn near perfect as a husband. At some point, he's going to hear this mouth about something. And that is why we have a plague of single, black, miserable, bitter women, right? Because they jump out here with these unrealistic expectations, especially the ones who are newly single in today's dating pool. They're coming. Let me tell you something about going outside right now at 40, and ain't no man checked you on that bullshit you was on. You come back out here, your body ain't what it used to be. Coochie don't snap back like it used to. Gravity done fuck them titties up. And then we don't even care about the BBL and the blue, blah, blah. Because I don't care if you got a Brazilian butt lift when you needed a Brazilian brain lift, right? Because it's the mindset that's fucked up on a lot of these women, right? You'll get a new butt and not get a new brain. And that's where you're lacking that from the gun bust anyway. I say all of that to say,
I think you missed my point.
a soft space. A soft space. What can women do to give a man a soft space? I don't think that men are asking for a soft space.
I'm talking about for our soft space, not for them to have a soft space. Do we need to?
What does a soft space look like for a woman?
I got to answer for
I
you.
want to know what she says though. What? Tell me. Define your soft space.
I think for me, a soft space for a woman is a place where she can go home and she can lean into her man for whatever it is she needs to lean into her man for about. We're going to take the money off the table because I have my own bread. A soft space to where I could come to you about anything and talk to you and lean in you and just say, baby, I know that protection that you talk about and that provision, this is how my day went. This is what I need from you. I need to be able to come to you and just cry to you about whatever it is that's bothering me. I need to be able to come to you and know that you got my back when I need you. If something is going on in life in general, you that listening ear of understanding and the capability to help me deal with the mess that's going on in my head as somebody who deals with a lot of stuff. And if I'm going to be giving all of this heavy weight to a man, whatever my weight is it fair that it's a one-sided road? Like I'm just giving him and giving him and giving him and giving him and expecting, but I'm not also providing that comfort of cushion for him to also be able to lean into me the same way. It's for him to be vulnerable the way I'm vulnerable with him. I think that's what my definition of a soft space is, of being vulnerable with somebody that can in return be vulnerable with me.
So this is what I'll say, right? A woman needs to provide a soft space for herself first, right? Before she ever thinks about incorporating a man in her life. I'm big on being able to provide the things that you require, right? So you want peace, and then see, this is the thing. You are a rarity, right? As far as a woman, because most of these women believe that soft space is financial, right? You already said it. I don't need a man for finances. So I think the first thing would have to be a majority of these women need to stop dating for survival and start actually dating for love. And that's what's wrong with the dating pool anyway, right? But a lot of these women are dating for survival. So it's not about even creating a soft space. It's give me, give me, give me. It's transactional. So it's not even about a soft space being created. They don't want a soft space with love love and understanding and consideration and affection, their soft space is a pillowcase filled with $100 bills and trips and being flown and Michelin star restaurants, right? So
Right.
your soft space, I believe that that's what's called a partnership. That's what a relationship is, right? You pour into me, I pour into you. Our cups can never get empty if we continue, right, to swap the liquids that are in the cups. I think that for a woman to do that, she would have to demonstrate selflessness, and there aren't a lot of people who are that selfless, unfortunately. But I'll let you guys land a plane.
I've
Um,
landed.
you said some stuff, and honestly, Dr. Lavelle did a couple things.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna help you. This is the second time you said it. Lovely.
Lovely. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My apologies, Queen.
Correction is
worry.
protection. Correction is protection.
Dr. Lovely. Yes. There's a couple things. One, honestly speaking, it sounds like the women need to actually grow up. I hate to say it like that. They need to grow up, because if the man is coming into your life and you accepted him as that, he obviously already done showed that he can be that safe space. There's some things that y'all women have, and let's call it, y'all got standards, y'all got check blocks and stuff like that a man has to get through to even for y'all to even accept him as that. And the problem that a lot of females is actually doing is they not doing that. They not doing that at all. Y'all want a man to actually, that safe space is not really safe space. It's more like convenience. You want him to be okay where you can dump all that. He can, and you have been doing that. The problem is you want him to probably take every single issue that you got going on that you don't want to handle, or a lot of women don't want to handle, and you want him to handle it. And if he don't handle it, then he ain't that safe space. Y'all start throwing that on there as he's doing something wrong. And the problem really is it's not him, it's you. That whole simple fact of being that protector, you know he's doing that. That's why he's here. The simple fact of when you said that you have your own money, respectfully, we already said that men don't care about your money, and a lot of y'all women know that. Y'all money is kind of sort of one-sided, because y'all money don't really equate when it comes over to the man anyway. So when you say I don't care about your money because I got money, yes you do. Let's stop. Yes you do. we
No, I don't.
we speaking in general.
Yeah. Okay.
That's in all honesty, that's really what a whole big thing is with a lot of this era. A lot of women nowadays is just not actually being out here. I don't care. I'm gonna just say from the age of 25 on up, they not really being the type of woman that they need to be. They just a bunch of emotional, let's say taller and wider 8-year-olds. I hate to say it like that.
I got a question for Dr. Lovely, right? Because we talk about the soft space, and now we're about to hyper dive into this, right? Do you believe that a woman needs a soft space in order for her to be in her divine femininity?
No, absolutely not.
Elaborate.
If you're in your divine femininity, it exudes from you. You walk into a room and you bask in it, you bathe in it every single day. Your femininity is a part of who you are, your essence. That's a woman. I know that a lot of women, including myself, have been classified as masculine because I take care of my home. I pay all my bills. Everything that I need to get done, I get it done on my own. But I walk in my femininity every single day of my life. As a mother and as a woman, that's all I exude. A woman should come to a man. Go ahead, True.
Who's called you though? And I hate to interrupt, but who's called you masculine though? Because you said that you bask in your femininity, correct? But you said that you are described as masculine. Who's calling you masculine?
I'm 6 feet tall. I wear 6-inch heels if I want to. Okay. I pay all my bills by myself. Everything that I've done in my life, I've done it on my own. So when I walk in and somebody cannot match me where I'm at, their assumption is, let me call her what she isn't to. And I know we're not talking about my book right now, is ways for people to pull a woman down who has her own. To say, well,
Beautiful.
you too masculine. You too
Beautiful.
masculine.
Hold on though, sweetheart. Listen to me and listen to me clearly.
Yes.
Right? Who is calling you? Like, we don't care about you being 6 foot. Let me finish. We don't care about you being 6 foot tall. You wear 6-inch pumps, you're a girl, you're supposed to. We don't care that you're educated. We don't care how much money you have. Who's saying that you are masculine because of these things? Who's
it's the low hanging fruit that try to pick me up at the bar that I'm not paying attention
low
to.
quality men, right?
It's the low
right?
hang. I'm not gonna say low quality. I'm not gonna say low quality. I'm not gonna label them. I'm just gonna label them as low hanging fruit at the bar that are trying. And I'm not gonna fault you for shooting your shot. I get it, but
So,
I'm
Dr. Lovely, now hold up. Excuse me, man. We about to have some fun this evening. Is there no such thing as low quality people? Is that not?
yes, yes. The low hanging fruit, they exist absolutely, and they have every right to be loved.
And so I'm not. See, you know what?
I want to ask Fruit, who's the low
I,
hanging fruit?
1 second, brother. Please let me just let me
Go
do
ahead,
what I do
go ahead,
best,
Fruit.
please.
Go ahead.
So let me get this straight, because I'm walking somewhere with this, and you're very elusive. To be 6 foot, you are you're agile, extremely, right? But we're gonna get to this. So these low hanging fruit, aka low quality men,
I didn't say
deem
low
you.
quality. You said that.
I did. That's fine. You low
Okay.
quality men. You meet this woman who's 6 foot tall. You meet this woman who is well established financially. She's accomplished. She pays all of her bills, which to me, the only thing that makes you stand out that I heard was the fact that you're 6 foot tall for a woman. Everything else is adulthood. Right? Because paying bills and having car insurance and cars and employment, this is just adulthood. And so this is how you don't have to call these men low quality for me to know that they're low quality. Because for a man to be threatened that you're financially able to take care of yourself, this is a low quality, this is a low quality man. Because for me to meet you out, right? For me to meet you out, I might say, damn, she is a tall glass of water. But this is the thing. Men like to climb trees, ladders, and everything else. We're just that adventurous, right? And so a man of substance, right? A man of quality is actually going to think that it's cute that you are established like this, right? Like when we meet high caliber women, we don't scare away from them. It's actually a wow, I haven't been challenged in a while. I'm glad that she's accomplished. I'm glad that she's educated. I'm glad that she's financially stable, because this is where my masculinity thrives, because I get to conquer you. I get to put my penis in you and get ultimate submission from you. So men, they
That's it.
find what you offer to be astounding. This is a yes, because the most attractive thing about a woman after her divine femininity is a woman that doesn't beg. And I just want to say, welcome to the chat, Ma. Appreciate you for tapping in. We talked about this hyphenated name. It is what it is, but we got the brother in the chat. Mel, I landed my plane. Get your shit off. Hit the likes. Turn the chat up.
I mean, it's a couple of things that Dr. Lovely, when you sit up here saying low hanging fruit, I mean, I want you to, be a little bit more specific on who's that low hanging fruit, because in all honesty, you saying men at the bar, it doesn't even matter what bar. Why do you say low? Like what is the low hanging fruit? Can you give me a little bit of an example of what you're talking about?
So I'm gonna create a juxtaposition because men call women low hanging fruit all the time. Okay. That's the pick me women. We have pick me men. Men that want to have their bottoms pampered. They want that princess treatment from someone who is established. The same way women look at, I want the man to come in and save me, because the damsel in distress usually gets the man to pull her out of her mess, right? But the women who are established, we truth, I'm gonna get that book because you should, I'm missing something. But it's what I see out in the wild as a lovologist, and when I coach women and I coach men and I see them, the woman that's here and the man that's here, there's a sense of belonging, a sense of well-being. So when I talk about a man that's low-hanging fruit, is somebody who doesn't have his stuff together. He's not, and he doesn't have to be at the bar. He could be at the gas station. He could be at Target. He could be at the restaurant. It doesn't matter where he at. His conversation would show like you. Oh, so you work for yourself. Oh, so you drop that. Oh, so you. Oh, so you this. Oh, so you that. There's key words that they throw out in their conversation to show that you are out of their league, And instead of them admitting that you're out of their league, they'll try to find a woman that has vulnerabilities that's in that league and try to bring them to where they are in that space, to where they're comfortable to be able to get in to manipulate her. And I'm not going to flash my book because this is Truth's podcast, but I've seen it. I've interviewed hundreds of people and I wrote about it as a researcher, and I've watched these type of people. And women do it too. Okay,
No, no,
women
no, no.
do
All
it
right, all
too.
right. I get that, Dr. Lovely, but I mean, you're first of all, you're at the same bar with these people. Now, I'm not trying to come at you, but you're at the same bar that you're talking about with this low hanging fruit.
Right.
So that should say something right there.
No,
But
no, it
the
does
fact,
not.
As
It
far
does
as
not.
so you
It does
like,
not. No.
hold on. But then you also just literally just sit up there and said because they the fact that you said that they at the bar is already crazy, and you at the bar with them. I mean,
No.
how did you? Okay, let's take it a little bit further. Let me walk you down here. So, how did you even determine that they low hanging fruit? Because you at the bar, you don't know these people. You don't know
you just
they don't
said
know
in
you.
the conversation.
What?
I
So
sit
you
at the
telling me
bar.
that you?
Listen,
So you
Sit
telling
here and
me?
act like that don't
so
happen.
my sister and talk in a minute. Tell him,
So
sis.
you
We
telling
gonna
me?
sit here and act like that don't happen. Like you can go to an establishment. It does not mean everybody in there is low quality or low hanging fruit. But what
So I
happens is you're
specifically
sitting
asked
there and
her
somebody
who is
comes
the
and
low
engage.
hanging
Let
fruit.
me finish. Somebody comes and engages in conversation with you. They will sit there and talk to you for the next 10 to 15 minutes, and you can tell what type of person they are in the first 30 seconds. As you have the conversation and they ask you questions like, what do you do? And where are you from? And whatever those questions are, and you start to answer them, and they start to respond with stuff like, oh, I see you, big money. Oh, you out here, huh? Like you can tell by the conversation that a man is having that he is not up to speed and he is
Explicit.
not.
But
Huh?
Melly made a concise point, right? He said, whatever bar you're in, these men are in that bar with you, right? And I tend to agree with Melly because, for one, I don't go to bars, right? But if I were to go somewhere out to get a drink or wherever, it probably just wouldn't be a local dive bar or something like that. So I'm curious, where are these bars that you guys are frequenting?
You put the
Birthday
word in
party.
front of
Somebody
it.
had a birthday party.
You said dive bar. At every high-end restaurant, there's a bar.
Absolutely.
I go to the Cowboys Club. There's a bar. I go to some of the high-end steakhouses out here in Dallas. They have a bar.
Okay.
Okay.
You at a
So
high-end
not a
steak
dive bar. I'm not going to where all of the kids hang out or whatever. When I'm gonna go, I'm dressed. I'm gonna sit at the bar because I had a long day. I just want to have a nice drink. I got a bar in my crib.
Yeah.
And
Full
you
bar.
mad that men is being
I'm
men
not
that are
mad.
nice looking, but you literally just said that these low hanging fruit. So you mad that a man is seeing a good looking woman and he's asking this, and you're talking about that he's low hanging fruit just
No.
because.
Put words in her mouth.
No. Here's a question. Go ahead, sis.
That's not what she said. She
This-
didn't say she was mad. She just gave an example. And not just that, but if somebody called me and said, hey, I'm having a birthday party or we having drinks at such and such bar and I shoot through there for a minute, it don't mean that this is where I hang out on the regular. She even stated that it doesn't have to be in a bar. It could be at the grocery store. It could be at the gas station. She was just stating in general. And now you're focused on the fact that she said she was in a bar. It was just an example.
I'm focused on the fact that she said that low hanging fruit men is trying to holler at her. What else are they supposed to do in all reality? You at the same bar with this low hanging fruit and you're complaining about what they doing.
I'm not complaining. I just shoot. I don't complain. I'm not gonna do that. I go in. I present myself as a woman. I sit there as a woman. I'm by myself. I'm okay hanging out by myself.
What was my original question?
I'm at the bar with the same low hanging fruit, and what makes them low hanging fruit?
Exactly. And what was your response? You tried to sum it up quickly, so we don't drag it out.
And my response was the low-hanging fruit. I can identify the low-hanging fruit because I've done a lot of homework. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life. And the question from all low-hanging fruit is always the same. There is no originality in people who are, even with women. I'm gonna take myself out of it as a woman with male low-hanging fruit. With women, if you go sit at the bar, the dive bar, the restaurant bar, whatever bar, and you dress to the T, you got your Rolex on like I wear, and you dress and you smelling good, you're gonna attract the women who are expecting to come up.
Yeah. Dr. Lovely, so I think it would help me and Melly understand what you mean by low hanging fruit if you just gave it almost like a dictionary definition. So
Okay,
just
a
like,
low hanging fruit is the fruit that drops off the tree when you walk by it, just like boom, pick me. It's easy. There's no effort to it. The ripest fruits are at the end of the tree, if you think about it metaphorically, and the fruit that's fully ripe just drops off and hits the ground. And all somebody has to do is bend down, pick it up, and eat. There's no
okay,
effort to getting the fruit. There's no effort in obtaining the fruit. There's no effort to maintain the fruit.
so
Now,
you-
that's what the definition of low hanging fruit is.
no, so I mean, when we're talking about men, right? Because in general, you're a woman, right? So you get approached. You don't approach men, right? So
I
it's
do
not.
approach men. Absolutely.
Oh, you do?
Absolutely.
Is it frequent, or is it just like whenever you happen to like a guy or some like some?
I approach a man that I feel like that's I can approach.
Okay.
He's walking in, he's checking all of the boxes. I hear his conversation. We have a dialect going on. And if I want to approach, when you say approach, do I walk up or do I hit on him?
Whatever it may be, in terms of a woman, like typically the dynamic is the man applies the pressure, the man goes out to get the woman. But you're saying that because low hanging fruit means it's easy to get, but typically women, it's not like, yo, I'm trying to crack this guy. That's not how it normally works. It's a man trying to crack the woman. So I'm assuming when you say low hanging, you just kind of like mean low quality. It's not nothing I'm interested in. Conversation not good. No. Maybe not very successful. All these type of things. That's what I would assume it means.
Right.
But you said it's not. Okay.
I respect your perspective in that area, but if there's a man that's walking in and he has that stage presence that I'm attracted to, and he looks like he carries the caliber of what I'm attracted to, and I approach him and we sit at the bar or a restaurant or go bowling or go to Starbucks, whatever it is, and his conversation doesn't match, I automatically I'm not trying to deal with anybody who is not on the same mental caliber as myself. Low hanging fruit is not necessary. Go ahead.
No. Okay, so let's be dead honest and direct about it. So low hanging fruit to you is really guys that just don't cut it for you. That just not attractive or just not that guy that meets your caliber of standards. Is that correct?
How about this? Walk up to me. You fine. Put your number in my phone.
Sweetheart.
How old are you?
I asked the same question 3-4 times.
I'm just saying it's not low cal. It's not low cal. I don't put men and I don't put labels on people like low caliber, high caliber, high value, low value. That's not something that I generally do. Low hanging fruit is just a general term.
But that's what I'm asking you. I mean, we have men on here, we have women on here, we have people in the comments trying to get an understanding from you. What's your version of low hanging fruit? Now,
a pick me nigga, just like a pick me bitch is a pick me nigga. It's a pick me.
I think I understand at this point what she's trying to say.
At this point, it's really just basically a guy that don't meet your standard. So
I mean,
we can move on from it. We ain't got.
Wait a minute, my love. Hold on, my love. If there's a woman that does not meet your standards, where do you put her?
What do I call her?
What do you call her? Where do you label her?
I don't actually label her. I mean, just because she don't meet my standards, I mean, I don't even consider her low hanging fruit, as y'all call it. It's just a person that I just can't entertain. She's not attractive or whatever the case is. She's just not it. When we talking about men as far as low hanging fruit, those is females, like I said, that's just very easy. Females that we can actually just go ahead and smash real easy, just real simple.
Okay.
So when y'all talking, y'all version of a low hanging anything is different from a man. So that's why specifically we trying to make sure we get y'all what you just said. Okay. Because you ran down the whole dynamic and it was like, okay, I'm trying to let you go, but
what was,
so low hanging fruit for men?
Finding it though is what I want to know. So what were you getting to, Melly?
Excuse me.
What was the point in defining it? Like, what were you getting into? Like, so define it, and now what?
Because she actually made that statement when she said low hanging fruit. So obviously, a natural response would be, well, what exactly is your version of a low hanging fruit?
Okay, now that we define what a low hanging fruit is, now what? Where was
we can go on to the next question. What you got?
So low hanging fruit is just for women.
The next 2 hours.
Wait a minute. So low hanging fruit for men, because that's y'all thinking with your lower chakras.
It's easy
Anybody who
work.
can fulfill my lower chakra is low hanging fruit.
No, it's easy work. It's just it's not a
Right.
it's nothing.
The easy, fulfill the chakra, easy on the bend over, spread like mustard, all of that stuff, right?
But that's not
That's
easy
y'all
work for
definition
y'all.
of low hanging fruit. No,
But
for men.
y'all version of low hanging fruit, as we are trying to get from you, is what? It seems like just a guy that y'all just not attracted to.
No, it's the same
something like that.
thing. It's the same thing.
No,
Somebody,
Melly,
a man that's looking to latch himself onto. So it's not the same thing. Let me correct myself.
No, I think we understand you. At least I understand you. You're saying
Okay.
that low hanging fruit to you is just a man that is reality, not in the caliber of men that you typically are looking for. You know, they might not have the intelligence, they might not have a conversation, they might not have the success. They might be trying to, see what they can get out of women. I think I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, be good.
Okay. All right. Truth to went off. So, yeah, have any questions for us?
I heard some stuff. I mean, I know one topic that I was listening and because I came late, that I wanted to address was like the stepdaddy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't think it's wise for men to say things like I'll never be a stepdad, or I'll never be a whatever, right? And I don't think it's wise, because you just limiting yourself. Because if I ask you this question, Melly, if I said, yo, if you wanted to date a single mom, would you do it, or would you care about what we think? If you truly wanted to do it.
Can you repeat that, love?
I was asking Melly if he wanted to
I'm
date a
sorry, I
single
got
mom.
bugs out here.
If Melly wanted to date a single mom, would he care about what we think as men, or if he truly wanted to do it, or would he just do it?
I would do it just because of me. I don't care about what somebody else saying.
And that's the reason that I don't think it's wise to say things like I don't know if you said it or not, but in general, a lot of men say stuff like that. I don't think it's wise, because what if you do want to do it? You're a grown ass man, you can do what you want, right? So I don't believe in kind of like limiting. Saying like it's not something that I prefer. It's not something that I don't think I'll ever do it, right? That's a different perspective. But like limiting ourselves when we can do what the fuck we want, right? I don't think that's wise to do that. It's just because there's no purpose, no point. There's no benefit.
Part of the problem is a lot of these men cherished and worship Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
And so some of the things that he said were in regards to women being single mothers, and how they devalue because they are single mothers, and how men shouldn't date single mamas if they, all this other stuff. It's a bunch of clips that went viral. They never actually paid attention to the stuff he said to men. Because he also said a man should be 100% provider. He said so much to men that nobody paid attention to, but they point out the stuff that he said about women. And that is one of the things that he said was about dating a single mom, and how being a stepdaddy to, her kids or whatever is pretty much some sucker shit.
Yeah, because they only resonate to what they want to hear.
Yeah, they took it and they ran with it. He was only referring to the person who he was talking to. He was not speaking in general, but they took that and they ran with it, and it became a narrative, right? So I see it all the time. It was in the chat. It was in the comments when we were talking about it, and even one of the super chats. If you become a stepdad, you an idiot. This is why you shouldn't date single moms. And I agree with you. You limit yourself, because like Truth said, what are her kids like? Especially if she got young kids who are very impressionable at this age. You know what I'm saying? You could slide right in and it'll be cool. You won't even have no issues. But I agree that if she got terrible kids, then no, we not doing that.
Sis, would that be the same for us?
Situation, right?
Yeah.
Would that be the same for us as being stepmoms? And we can talk that, we can do that in another conversation, but would that be the same for us?
No, I think it's the same for us too. Because you have to take into consideration the man's situation, because most of the time the man is not the custodial parent. So the kids don't live with him. So our situation might be slightly different. Right. Because the kid isn't in a household. So we only see the kid, every other week or every other weekend or whatever the case may be. He don't have the kid 24/7. So it makes it a little different on our end. It's not the same.
Right.
Okay, Excel, you just said Excel. I mean, in all honesty, that's kind of partly untrue. The fact of the matter is, people in general only like the part that of things that's being said that kind of sort of feeds or pander to their emotion. In our reality, when you start talking about stepdads and things like that, this wasn't an issue. If you want to really be honest, this wasn't an issue many years ago, or let's just say from the early or late 80s back. This started being an issue when things started changing. It wasn't because of Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels made it popularized, if you want to be honest. The fact of the matter is, it's just common sense. Did you ever hear a man having a problem with messing with a female that had kids back in the 80s and the 70s? No. Why? Because the woman still respected the man and for what he did. Nowadays, there's a problem because females don't respect men no matter what they're doing. And now, since y'all, a lot of females nowadays don't respect their man no matter what they're doing. It's only convenient. It's really just a convenience for them.
You know, Melly,
people
I
can
disagree
only
with
do to you what you allow.
you.
If you got a woman in your life who don't respect you, you should take a look in the mirror.
Listen, did you hear what I just said? The fact of the matter is, none of this problem was a problem at all.
It was though.
None of this was a problem at all. Nowadays,
it's just put on blast because we have social media now. It was a problem back then too. This is not
It
new.
was.
It's not new.
The revolution will not be televised.
No, Melly, I think that it's always been a problem. I think that the problem is men just started talking about it, and I think it's an important conversation. Though I think that it is an important conversation. I think a lot of men have gotten the short end of the stick for a long time, and they just dealt with it. Like even the people I know, most of them didn't treat their stepfathers good. You know, if they can recall, a lot of them didn't respect their stepdads, and a lot of their stepdads just had to put up with it. I think that men should have had a conversation because there are a lot of cons to doing it in general, right? But what are the pros, right? And how do you do it in an educated way about what you're about to get yourself into? I think that for me, I've never like been in a relationship with a woman who had kids, and I got kids myself, but I've never been in it to this point, right? Now, I understand that in general, it's going to cost me more money because I'm a provider. I'm always going to be a provider. So if I take on a woman and her kids, I'm taking on a woman and her kids. I'm not going to be a weirdo like, all right, I'm going to buy this for my kids and your kids got to do this, right? I'm not doing that, right? So that's one thing I got to take into consideration. It's going to cost me a lot more money than what I'm paying right now, but just having to take care of my kids. Where's the father at? How is the father? Because I'm not going to be a sucker in my own house, right? So I'm not going to discipline my kids. And then when it comes to your kids, I'm like, all right, I'm going to tell your mom. I'm wait till she get home. Hell no, I'm not no sucker in my own house. If I can't discipline your kids, it ain't going to work, right? So that's going to cut off 90% of the women anyway, because they not with that. Most women not with that at all. Right. So I think as long as the situation makes sense and these variables you can account for, like no baby dad drama, nobody trying to run your house from another household, all that type of stuff, then it can work out. But it is going to be rare. But if you find a woman that you think is worth it and that you love enough to want to do this and go through life with her, then do it. If that's what it is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I like him.
Okay. Okay,
I'm not trying to hit on you or anything like that.
I want well, he's not low hanging. I'm playing. So what we want to do
I don't like low hanging.
Everybody. We want everybody to turn the chat up. We want everybody to hit super stickers as well. I really do not know where the conversation was going or where it pivoted. Does anybody want to catch me up to speed or like what happened here? What's going on here?
We spent about 20 minutes talking about low-hanging fruit.
Really? And we and what was on
Melly couldn't quite grasp the concept of what low-hanging fruit was.
No, I can grasp the concept. It's
he was able to grasp it when on the male side.
Exactly, because from a female side, literally, and just like I said before, it's a whole. Basically, it comes down to when y'all just got that y'all not attracted to. No. Our version of low hanging fruit is different from y'all, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone because we ain't gonna beat that up for another 20 minutes.
We gotta catch truth. We gotta catch truth up, right? So
hold on though, because I'm big on understanding, and so where is the disconnect, Mel? Somebody like give me the context. Like, how did we get the low-hanging fruit? What was the description of the low-hanging fruit? And where was the disconnect for you? Like, I want to really understand before we can move.
Spotlight Melly Mel.
I asked Dr. Lovely what is her version, because she mentioned before you left, what was her version of low-hanging fruit? She went
Okay.
into okay, the type of guys that when you go into the club or you go into the bar, he don't have good conversation and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, a guy that don't have good conversation and stuff like that shouldn't be considered low hanging fruit. So I wanted her to expound on that. What exactly is that? And I can't run. I can't. I don't. I
You want
don't
me to
have.
run it
I
back
do
for
all
you,
that.
Okay.
Truth?
Go
I'll
ahead.
run it back for you.
Please, somebody, please.
So the definition for he asked what was my definition of low hanging fruit for a woman. And I pretty much said, pick me nigga, or pick me female, pick me bitch, whatever it is, The
Okay.
fruit that just drops off, there's zero effort. All you gotta do is bend down, pick it up, and eat it. For
Hmm.
men, his definition was low hanging fruit are the women that's easy that they can just smash, spread like mustard, all of that good stuff. For
Hmm.
women, because we have a different biological astronome, low hanging fruit for us is if you drop off the tree, there's no effort. You're not a provider. You're not intellectual. You all of these things that do not intrigue me. So what I spoke about was like I was at a bar, and I think this was a continuation of the conversation. Was like who's called you masculine, et cetera, et cetera. Um, if you come into me at a bar and you trying to bring me down to your level when I'm already, I vibrate all the way up here. Oh, I see you a baller. I see you got this money. Or I see you looking like this. I see some level of some men try to bring down a woman who knows her value and knows her worth, bring them down to their level so they can maintain them at that low hanging fruit area, because we women, we are emotional. We don't need to just women. If there's a woman that just drops and they you can smash them easy, that's different. But for us, if a man is low hanging fruit and he's just trying to get in where he can fit in, that leech that drops onto your back, that just wants to come up off of you because you have more clout, you have more connections, you have more this, you have more that. That's not something that I'm willing to deal with. So that's where we were left off a little bit.
So, okay, 1 second. It's so much to unpack here. What would make a woman easy, so to speak?
You gotta ask
I'm
Melly.
Ask
asking
That was
him.
for a woman. No, I'm
Okay.
asking you have like I want you to describe a woman. Like, first of all, are there high vibrational women at the bar? My first question. Secondly, what makes a woman low value? Like or easy? Easy. What makes a woman easy?
Are you asking me?
Are you asking me or are you
Yes.
asking her?
that's what
Dr.
Melly said.
Lovely. But
So this is exactly what these gentlemen said. You at the same bar, these low hanging fruits. Let me explain to you. I go to very high
no,
every single
that's not what
restaurant.
I
Truth.
asked you.
No,
That's
no,
not what
no.
I hold on. No, 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 no. I'm here now. This is what what makes answer the question. Specific question. What makes a woman easy? Dr. Lovely.
I cannot answer that. What
She was
makes a
Coach
woman
Melly.
easy?
So let me ask you a question. Stay right there. Stay right there. Let me see. What kind of car do you drive?
Me?
Yes.
I have a Lexus RC. I have a Lexus GX 500, and I have a Lincoln Navigator.
What kind of gas do these cars take?
They all regular gas, except for my Lexus RC is premium.
Okay. How tall are you?
6 feet.
How much square footage is in your home?
4,000.
What color is your skin?
Brown.
What color are your eyes?
Brown.
What color is the dress that you have on?
I'm not wearing a dress.
Okay, shirt.
Red.
What's your definition of hard?
Struggle.
What would make a woman easy?
Spreading like mustard.
So now you can describe.
Hey.
See this?
I said that already. You
No,
didn't hear me.
Hold on.
But wait, let me finish. Let me
You
finish.
cannot cut me off. Hold on. No, because
I didn't finish my
I asked
answer.
what made a woman easy. You said a woman spreading like mustard is what makes a woman easy, right?
I didn't finish though.
Please do. And then I'm gonna cook.
You can cut me off, Truth. We friends for life.
No, No, beautiful. Tell me.
Oh, what makes a woman
Spreading
easy
like yes.
is somebody who spreads like mustard that'll take somebody in the back of the alley and just give her body to him.
Does that make her easy or adventurous?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because I like alley sex. Like I like spontaneous outside.
I do too.
So you're easy. So you're easy.
I'm not easy. I'm gonna do that with
Wait
my
a
man
minute.
though. I'm gonna do
Wait
that
a
with my man
minute.
though. That's gonna be my man. I'm feeling you right now, baby. I'm feeling some kind of way. My estrogen and my fucking pheromones is on high. Let's go about here and let's go these niggas a show. I'm
What you was
not doing
tripping
that
off?
with somebody I just
What
met.
you was tripping
No, AIDS is too fucking high. No, I'm not doing that.
See, y'all
No.
be get away with murder, and then when I come up here, I make it my. You better.
I'm done. My plane is landed.
Damn, y'all. Wait.
No,
My
what
plane landed, Truth. I'm done.
You should have some.
They wanted to give me the hard time. I was trying to be nice about it. I'm just
Okay,
okay.
I can hear
You don't have to
Yeah,
be
what
nice. You got two
conversation
queens
was
up here. You don't have to be nice.
That-
Be good. Don't bite your tongue, baby.
Oh,
Your
we already
stomach
know
gonna be full of sentences,
We
and you
already know
gonna
that. Trust me. Respectfully, love you just met me. That's one thing I ain't gonna do. No,
It's okay. I'm a sailor. It's conversation. I'm gonna love you regardless of how you. I don't get offended very easy.
It's cool. It's cool. It's good.
Truth. Tell your boy it's okay to talk.
I missed a little bit of what y'all was just talking about.
No, he's a grown man. Really? Did you? Okay, we'll be. All right. So, you know what? It's not even important because it's so. But anyway, okay. So the next. What else?
Your internet,
I'm
man,
not
breaking up.
Cut out, Truth.
What's your name with the P hat on? I forgot. Is that a Philly hat?
How about
I can't
now?
see. I'm
Am I
old.
good now?
You good?
Am I
Not really.
good
No.
now?
Nah, you got to clean that up, Truth.
Cutting in and out.
All right. Fuck it.
I hear you, Truth.
All right, fuck it. I don't know.
You're clearing up now. Let's see you say something.
It's cool. Yo, boy. You.
Yeah, he got a
I
crazy.
got you. I hear you.
I'm fucked.
We can hear you.
We in Texas, Truth.
I'm
I
trying
hear
to
you.
refresh my shit, but my wife bought me this new computer, and I really don't know how to navigate it yet. I'm not that tech savvy. I don't even know how I've manipulated the internet because I don't know how to work a phone, a computer, or any of that shit. That's why when people be like, it's all types of ways to go viral, I be like, I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't have any training.
I'm an IT person, and yeah, my wife is. I'll help her help
Me
you.
too.
IT queens in the house.
Well, I'm not an IT person, but I'm trying to
You got-
refresh my shit, and I'm looking like the little circular thing. It's like that thing that like, but can y'all see me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just in like 480.
No.
We can see
delay.
you, but you delayed, Truth. You unfortunately you might have to refresh, but I don't know if it's going to end your joint.
I'm trying to refresh now, but 480 is crazy. This nigga shooting at me. Hold on. How about now? I'm good to go.
You good to go? He said the nigga just came out.
Yeah, Truth lagging. He about
You know
6.
what?
Oh man. See, I don't want to expose myself.